Hey everyone, welcome back. Okay, so this lesson is about adding polynomials. And I always say math is fancy words that mean easy things. Adding polynomials. So let's work our way through it, but just remember it's going to be something that's incredibly simple, things that you've done your entire life. So if I'm adding polynomials, what I'm doing is simplifying an expression. What does that mean? It means that if I have this expression where this thing right here and this thing right here are being added together, this is a polynomial and this is a polynomial, and we're going to add them together. If we simplify it, it's just kind of like organizing it. Kind of like if you were collecting socks and t-shirts. Well, you'd put all the socks together with the socks and the t-shirts together with the t-shirts. That's really all you're doing with this problem. Notice, I've got some F's and I've got some H's. These are different variables, different numbers that I don't know. And I just need to organize them. So, when I look at it, here are 4 F's. I'll color them blue. Here is an H. I've got 3 F's and I got 5 H's. I want to organize them. So what does that mean? It means I put them together. How many do I have total? Well, I got 7 F's and I got 6 H's. And I have just turned this 4-term polynomial into a 2-term polynomial. I organized it. I put everything that was alike together. So how would I do this one? Well, notice, I've got some variables right here, x's, and I've got some numbers that I know right here. I want to organize them. I want to put them together. So, I take my x's and I add them together. I take my 1's and I add them together. And I get my answer. It's really that simple. But you have to stay organized and you have to stay focused. Why don't you try this one? Okay, I'm back. Notice I've got some x's, 5 of them to be exact. I've got some 1's, -1 to be exact. And does everyone understand that this is why we wanted you to know your positive and negative numbers so well when you got in chapter number 1? Try this one. All right, I'm back. Notice I have -5 plus 2 gets me -3. -4 plus -7 equals -11. But when you were in first grade, you realized that you could add this way, but you could also stack them. Does that work with polynomials? Absolutely. Everything you learned in elementary school helps with polynomials. Let's say I have this one. Well, what if I stack them? Notice how I turned the subtraction into addition. I always turn every subtraction problem into an addition problem using the inverse property of addition. All right, now that I've got them stacked, notice I've got my t's in one column and I got my 1's in the other column. And I get my answer. Wouldn't that have been the answer? 5 plus 3 is 8. -2 plus 9 is 7. Some people like stacking, some people like leaving them side by side. I'll leave it up to you to decide which one you like best. All right, next up, what if I deal with this? Well, notice I've got 3 groups of 2x's. 3 times 2x would be 6x's. 3 times -7, or 3 groups of -7, would get me -21. Now that I've multiplied, I can combine things that are alike. Hopefully you notice. These are the things that are alike. Just like we did in 5th grade, you have to multiply before you can add. So we always use the distributive property before we combine like terms. All right, can you handle this one? Hint, you have to multiply first. And once again, this is why we wanted you so good at multiplying with decimals. Because multiplying 0.5 times 6 should not be difficult. And multiplying -0.5 times -8 should not be difficult. Did you get that? And once you've multiplied, now you can just combine the things that are alike. I hope you're noticing this is not difficult. However, you do have to pay attention, don't you? It's the little mistake that will get you. And that's why we will practice this lots. All right, moving on. Actually, I'm going to save this for the next lesson. The next lesson will be subtracting polynomials. So we've just done adding. If you've got any questions on how to add polynomials, please let me know. And you guys have a good night.